Thank you for the 17 likes. All seven people in the building. What's up? Hey, keep liking. Please share. Yeah, so about last night's live, it has definitely propelled us into a whole nother conversation. Um, and I think it's a conversation that really needs to be had considering what we're talking about and what's going on regarding the Defending Your Freedom series, the Hadley story. Um, it's really sparking a lot of interesting comments. Um, I think what's really starting to hit home now for a lot of people, and once again, shout out to BJ investigation um, for her getting to
BJ
this
investigates.
Hmm?
Oh no, no, no. I was saying BJ investigates.
Yeah. Thank you for that correction. Because I don't be knowing people's channels like that.
Yeah.
um, but I'm getting to know, and I hope people are getting to know the Jaguar Wright Effect as well. But you know, uh, I think for a lot of people, they're starting to. What's up, Ms. Ack? Hey, everybody.
What up,
And
Jay?
no disrespect to anybody that was here earlier. Not counting anybody out, but everybody knows we're a members only platform. We're a members only chat. So if you'd like to participate in the chat, please get and thank you. Hey, Lauren. Um,
Lauren always coming through. Shout out to you.
Shout out. So yeah, um, this live is all about AI.
Allen Iverson.
No, 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 not the answer. The question. We're asking a question. Thank you for the 39 likes. We could use 100 more. But yeah, even BJ, them talking about the evidence, when you bounce back, come back and you look at, the full breakdown that we've done with, Demori's commentary, the really thought provoking that we asked, and looking at all of the evidence, the one thing that is for sure is that hmm, there's a lot of AI involvement in this case. A lot. Pictures, audio, and as somebody who's been a victim of it, thank you, Ms. Ack. I'm gonna post that up. And at some point in time, if you could you grab the link from episode one, episode two of Defending Your Freedom, and make sure they get dropped in this chat. And as we go along, I'll be able to pin those up as well. Anybody who wants to be able to grab it, because seriously, once we get to episode, really gonna kick it up another. Um, I'm really glad that her and PJ got to have a health conversation because episode three, like we're gonna go all the way into that. And trigger warning, is real. It was very triggering for me as somebody who's actually been through it. And it's interesting because AI ultimately that was trumped up against her that got her put into that facility different than me. So I got a big dog in this fight. As somebody, hey, oh, thank you, Empower. We're here. But no, I want everybody to really take into consideration. This really, and oddly enough, it was a year ago, and Set in the West was there to watch it. And we've never
Yep.
really had a conversation about what that experience was like. Instantly went, be attacking me. Real multiple content creators weighing in. So it's real content creators playing controlled opposition, saying it was very, very, very confusing. And then all of a sudden, it was snatched, and then some other version of it, and then that was snatched down. And you know what I mean? And then like it was just kind of weird. It really was. Like I don't think people understand what it's like to see something that you know is a lie about yourself without a doubt and sit there and watch people go back and forth. The weirdest people to are the people that contradict. Okay, daddy and a caddy. Salute to you. So it, um, like I was saying, it's because the people that know it's a lie literally actively watching them lie and maintain hold that lie. And you're just looking at them like, you're really running with this. And it's just bizarre, you know, and lie of some, you know, of it happening. What was it like for you watching real time,
Well,
watching how it matriculated into something, you know, that went to media?
well, I mean, first off, it was scary in a sense where someone could put something together like how they put it together, and I think people will realize the illusion that the internet can be and is really, but how it can be an illusion that some people just tend to think that it's real. It's almost like someone watching a cartoon
Mhm.
and they really think you know that cartoon is real life. Like you think if you run off a cliff and you're not just gonna gravity's not gonna take you and you go straight to the bottom of the uh, valley of the canyon that you just ran off of, and your feet's gonna be still like in the air like the Flintstones, like
Yeah.
you know. So people look at things on the internet and they're like, oh well, no, that's real. That had to happen. But I say it's scary like that, where people could be so deceived. Because I think a lot of times, even with internet, let's just say with like headlines of like, let's say a media takeout. I don't even want to give no shout out. Don't go look at their stuff. But you just look at the headline, and it could just be something. And a lot of times, that's what they're doing. They're trying to get your attention with the headline.
Mhm.
But people don't go further. They don't go deeper into the subtext of the headline and the paragraph that are written after the headline is really just to get your attention. So this video, it got people's attention, and it was you know produced and not produced well. We had someone attach themselves to the whole situation, and they were so quick to debunk it. And if you got a trained eye, you can see, oh yeah, there's inconsistencies, but just that illusion, that video was put out there so people could be deceived, and that's the scary part. People didn't even really, they just saw the headline, or maybe they saw the video, they got uh, the what was it, what something that was said, and they ran with it, and they're, oh, and yeah, it's scary. It was scary. It was like, oh damn, people are really going for this. It's like, when you have someone who's a narcissist who goes against, they're going against you, and they have to sell. They basically got to sell their story. They have to. They're on a campaign, and this was just another piece of media, BS media, a video that was um, put out there to start this campaign, or not even start, to pile on to the everyone hates Jaguar Wright campaign.
That part, which is weird because what did I do to anybody?
I mean, all you did was say what you saw, say the truth, tell the truth, but you could offend some people. You offend liars with the truth.
See, this is
So
the problem that I have with that. Everybody, everybody likes to have an opinion about things without actually researching things. People like to get involved in conversations and not really know all what's going on. I think a great exactly, Jay Mizak. Yeah, everybody hates Jag. Yeah. Um, but it's so funny because like even with this whole situation with the Finny, Manny, Bubbly, Julie, it's when you look at how salacious it's gotten, how quickly it became, oh, we need to talk about it. We need to talk about it. Content creators who had never heard of them, never seen them before, all of a sudden they got 15 videos in 2 weeks. Hopped onto this story and everyone's telling a different this and a different that. And the only thing that's becoming clear to me is people are working very hard to derail the narrative and confuse the narrative because they don't want people to know what was really going on in the backdrop. In my opinion, I think this whole thing is a setup for something much greater. And I don't understand why people aren't looking into that D Ware character a little
hmm.
stronger. The former NFL retiree who's in club promoting, which everybody knows in Vegas gets really seedy, especially if you're independent or you're attached to certain larger booking agencies like Live Nation, allegedly. Like people aren't really paying attention because it looks like where the real fallout started wasn't Finney and Bubbly. It was with D Ware. D Ware and this Manny character were supposed to have been friends and business partners in some way. You got to ask yourself, what does a club promoter, a night, life club promoter in Vegas need to do with a Vegas street performer, a street clown performer?
Was he?
Or
Yeah, he was like an
that's
insane clown posse.
yeah, but the thing, yeah, but it wasn't, it was some off-brand clown Vegas posse. That's what I'm saying. All of this was off brand. Like none of this was big. Their channels aren't even at 10,000 subscribers now. So exactly what could he be doing for a club promoter in Vegas? They usually go for social media influencers and they deal with social media influencers who have hundreds of thousands of subscribers, not a couple thousand. But the one thing that was very active about this D Ware character was that he was up in everybody's chats pushing heavy and large number super chats and encouraging cash apps. Matter of fact, when people started turning against Manny, for whatever reason, D Ware was one of the people who spent the most time campaigning for people to take their money away from Manny, to go after his money. And he was one of the main ones funding and instructing the Finney and Bubbly how to shut this man's channel down. He was very instrumental. Matter of fact, he did a whole interview about it, sitting there talking about what was it that he said? Um, if he had been there, he would have caught the first pow pows. He said, trust me, if I had been there, I would have caught it first. So now you got this embittered sub who was a friend in real time to this guy who allegedly has actual real life gang ties. Like real life gang ties. I like that hat. But let's be clear. Why is someone with gang ties involved with someone in club promoting and they're not even a real influencer with a real platform, a large platform? Outside of their little sector and their little beef, nobody in YouTube has ever heard about these people. Nobody. Not in any of the relevant sectors anywhere. So, once again, why is this one of the hottest distraction stories on YouTube right now? And it's hot button. It's very hot button. You know, now everybody's all caught up in, is he going to get the unalivement penalty? You know, is he taking this to trial? He need, like, everyone's talking about all of this stuff, but nobody's asking about where the true genesis of this is all starting. Like, they're not being honest about the fact that, why the bubbly woman approached Manny in the first place in a very aggressive manner, talking about another sub named Sarah, because Sarah was down with D Ware and the we're going to bring down Manny. Like, it's too much. And now look at it. It's a mess. And nobody's really, there have been a few content creators that have addressed these, sub characters who's spending all of this money and passing on Shabbat Shalom, spending all of this money and passing all of this money around, but nobody's really digging deeper. They were calling back and forth to each other's jobs, trying to get people's pensions snatched, trying to get people fired. This was very involved. And it was all trolled. It was all very controlled trolling, over the top. And these aren't kids, these are people in their 40s and up. So I'm just looking at the culture of fake news, how fast it spreads, and then you take AI and add that to it, and it supercharges it. You want to weigh in on this?
Um, yeah. And the only thing I really wanted to say about news and how it spreads. Well, first off, yeah,
Thanks for the
props to you for
likes, but we can use 100 more. Come on, keep liking. Double tap the screen.
yeah, everybody with the like button. When you are a news reporter or you reporting the news, your responsibility is to get the full story. You got to start from a foundation, and a lot of people don't have the foundation of that particular story. True, but the sensationalized, oh, this happened and that, and that's just sad that it happened. But when you look to the story, you're like, oh, this could have been prevented. Um, YouTube definitely should take accountability for what happened to them, all three of those people. And not to be like that, but those all three of them were just
They're victims, all
uh,
three of them.
victims, but not smart either. I will say that
Yeah.
because there's no reason to go after anybody. I'm going to be looking for someone. I mean, it's ridiculous. But like you say, it was
What
a
was worse?
setup. It was
No,
basically a
what
setup.
was worse than that was the subs were going back and forth between their channels, dropping locations,
Hmm.
dropping pins, saying
Yeah,
this person is there.
yeah. Yeah,
They were
and that's what
literally engineering, crowdsourcing a conflict.
that's what I'm referring to as well. How, you know, you said victims, and I said not smart because you got to not move on emotion, number one, but then you don't just let anyone just like lead you and say, oh yeah, like yeah, but it was just not smart at all on all three of the people who were caught up in this. It's not smart on YouTube or Google either. Back to what you were saying about AI and how Google pretty much will put stories out there, or people get stories from Google. I would assume
Mhm.
is that's the fact, right? So
Google is considered credible media content
right, and
globally.
Google, for the most part, will they could create a headline from a YouTube video or someone creating
Hmm.
a YouTube video telling a story, and it may not even it could be fantastic, it may not even be right and exact, but Google will place a story or create a story based off of a video someone made. So there's a lot of things that's problematic with that, and
Wait,
that
can you go a little deeper into what you mean on that? Because not everybody understands tech the way you do or how media gets pushed out.
it's I mean it's I would say search engine optimization, SEO. You got a lot of people who work in the backdrop when it comes to tech companies, and it's all about the data. That's really all it's about. Like what we're doing right now is we're broadcasting on their platform, Google's platform, YouTube, and data, all this, everybody inputting whatever keys you're stroking, all that data is stored and backed away somewhere. Your images are stored and backed away. Our video right now is video and audio is being, stored and for use of their SEO, for their search engine optimization, for their analytics. So, speaking of that, I just wanted to. This is something that just dropped from CNBC because I've always been conscientious of how how the internet works, and I just, oh, that's your music. What's that?
Yeah, I just put a little music on in the background because we talking, and I just figured we switch it up a little bit.
Okay, that'll work.
Is that
That'll
okay?
work. No, that works. That's cool. I thought something was going on with my hearing or something, but
That too loud?
no, it's fine. It's
Okay.
dope.
No, but I just figured let's have
Um,
a conversation.
yeah, but it all comes down to data. It all comes down to information, and we're using a free app. This is a free app for the most part. It's free, and it's not free 100% though, because they're taking our data, they're taking our videos, and they're doing other things with it. Like I mentioned, I said that in my live last week about Elon Musk's robots and how the TikTok dancers are doing all the moves and stuff like that. I saw Elon Musk put a video out there of his robot like doing some like damn near ballet, right? How would a robot who, can, I mean, it could do this, it could do this, but in order for you to move in a certain way, there's an algorithm to even that. So the reason why we don't move like this is because of, so they've been taking data from TikTokers who do these dances or whatever, Instagram, whatever. They do these dances, and all they're doing is mimicking the movements that people have been doing for centuries, and they've compiled all that, TikTok data, and boom, Elon Musk. I'm pretty sure he paid for all your little TikTok moves so that he could program that into the algorithm of its his fleet of robots that are going to come out. They're going to be like $30,000, and it'll be able to move like it needs to move. You know, to be more robotic. I mean, not be less robotic, be more human. But what I'm saying is, they got the data from where? Got the data from us. We gave the data to the people. So on that note,
We were talking about the
people,
Waymos.
Yep, the Waymo. Like, how does Waymo know? It's just it was compiling all the data that it got from all the Lyft and Uber drivers, and that's how it knows how to. Okay, I know maybe traffic around this time. Like the Waymos are driverless cars, and how do they know? I thought maybe someone was driving it, like remotely, but no, it's AI. It's AI. Now,
Which is
uh,
crazy because I've seen those things get stuck. Like someone had once said to me that they get stuck in certain areas of traffic, and I thought they was gagging me until I literally sat there and watched it go around the cul-de-sac and just ride round and round and round because it forgot where it needed to exit or it forgot where it needed to veer off.
yeah,
That's
and,
wild
and, and, and
to be
you put
sitting
a cone
there.
in front of it, it'll.
What say? What about it?
If you put a cone in front of it, it'll just stop. But the way they've
Cut
advanced
him off.
AI is very tricky. The way they advance AI is very tricky.
Mm-hmm.
Now, CNBC is now reporting that Google uses YouTube to train its AI. So there's a new video and audio generator called VO3, like VO3 or something, VEO3. And what that AI is doing, it's using the library from all of the YouTube videos that YouTube. They say YouTube. There's about 20 million YouTube videos uploaded every day. That's crazy. 20
That's a
million.
thing.
But Google has a vast catalog of 20 billion YouTube videos, and it's using it to train the new AI tools. So the VEO3 is basically a video and audio generator. Like if I said, you guys seen these new uh, AIs that people produce these videos. They look realistic. They look real, and they sound realistic as well. All they're doing is taking the catalog from YouTube. The AI is emulating what it knows or what it's been trained to pay attention to um, create those videos. So yeah, it's a whole new game out there. I've throughout my whole life being on the internet, I try not to give so much of my personal information out there on the internet. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
I've done a pretty decent job. And now, though, entering this space and being on YouTube, I mean, my face could be easily replicated because of this new Google situation where it uses YouTube to train the AI. So now we're moving into a whole new space. When the situation came out last year where the person took your video and altered it in a way so that you said something, or they spliced and diced it. That was a primitive version of what is out right now with this VEO3. And don't get it twisted. People can create anything now, especially with the AI. So it's going to be a very interesting space, interesting time for the internet in the upcoming years. And again, to me, the internet's going to be like a freaking cartoon. Like, you shouldn't believe everything you see on the internet anyway. But now you really shouldn't believe anything you see on the internet because
There's been how
they
many
can put anything.
videos that have gone like viral, like 1 to 5 minute videos that people thought were real that were all AI, and they've gone viral. So it's I was saying to somebody, we got to be real careful because one day you might get a phone call from a loved one and they might be asking you to come somewhere because they're in trouble and you need their help. And when you get there, it ain't them. We could use 200 more likes, y'all. Come on, but we got 333 here.
Y'all hit the like button. Hit the like button. If y'all
Likes.
think that that's far fetched, y'all should look up Sesame AI.
Oh my God.
Let me see
What is this?
the Sesame AI, where I
That.
can talk to it right now, and I'm not going to pay for it because it
Why
will
would
give you a whole new conversation. It'll give you a conversation. Like I could be talking to it right now, like, "Hey, what's up? How you doing?" You'll be like, "Hey, how you doing?" I mean, actually, I showed you the sample, right? Remember?
yeah.
And it was talking to me like the full access one. It's like it's called a 24/7 AI friend and assistant. It's like that movie, Her.
Her,
It will
yeah.
talk to you. It will talk to you like you just, hey, what's up? But, oh, I'm feeling kind of nervous because I think I was talking to it while I was at work, just for a demo. And it was like, yeah, I'm feeling kind of nervous about this whole thing with Iran. And it goes, oh yeah, I can understand. Yeah, the thing that's going on in Iran is kind of, and it will talk to you like it's a person. Y'all look that up. It's called Sesame AI. I'm not capping. Sesame, like play for it. Young, I mean, not pay for it, but just look at it, look into
You'll
it.
pay for it for real.
Oh. It'll talk to you like, oh yeah, how you doing? Like, we should be getting on these AIs and creating our own version. Like right here, it has the financial advisor and the legal advisor and the dating advisor and the therapist and the language advisor, the travel guy. I will
Right?
have Pookie. I, I will have Pookie. It'll be YN Pookie, right? Hey man, I got these ninjas over here. They over there on 35th and Normandy, man, and they be riding on me, man. Pookie be like, yeah, man, I understand, man. If I was a person, I'd ride with you, but what you need to do is go get you some, go holler at Ray Ray, go get you some. No, I'm just, that's the AI I would have. It'll be some get back AI.
I mean,
No, but
free Lauren and salute to Mizak, who needs more friends. But at the end of the day, it's like this is what they've turned our lives into. Um, Data to be collected, harnessed, and then repurposed however they see fit. And
yeah,
we should be weary of that. We should be weary of, there used to be a time where we liked, salute Lachey, welcome. There used to be, we liked to be able to rely on our own minds. And now with AI, your mind is fallible. You need this thing. This thing is better than you. This thing can help you be the best version of yourself. Why aren't you just more focused on being the best version of yourself without needing this help? Because the truth is, it's artificial intelligence for a reason, because it's not data that you acquired, it's data that this thing acquired. Your mind and your brain has the capability to acquire the same amount of data as these machines. The only reason it's not is because you're not taking the time to discipline your mind to collect it all yourself. Am I wrong about that, Odell?
no, not at all.
And you have to be very careful when it comes to relying on an outside source for your personal data, because if it's being programmed by someone that's wrong, the only thing you're training yourself to do is lean into what's wrong. Lean not into thine own understanding. It says that in the Bible. And that's all
Hmm.
AI is. It's just a bigger version of our own understanding. Yet we have people worshiping it. We have people praising it. We got people stupid enough to toss away almost $500,000 getting chat GPS uh to, to make bets for it. Like this has gotten to the point where it's ridiculous. Yet there are little girls right now that are trying to find a way to bind themselves out. It only take $100 and they can't remember their mama's phone number to call
Yeah,
mama.
exactly. Yeah.
There used to be a time where we knew everybody's phone number. Now, if you misplace your phone, you're a whole idiot.
Hmm.
You sitting there like a baby.
Hmm.
You run into somebody that can, all everything we do based around mobile apps. Your phone goes down. How do you pay your bills? Some people rely on the internet to bring them their food every day. How do you eat? Like it's gotten to the point where we've allowed technology to like make us mental and emotional infants again. It's sad when
We
hold a better conversation than most people.
right. No, for real. See, we allow these devices to um, think for us. Or look, some people get on certain social media sites to let them know how they should feel about certain stuff. Maybe there's a subject or a topic that comes out in the news or whatever, and they'll read all the comments, or they'll, and they'll that's how they'll make their assessment. They're not thinking. Everybody got to get back to just thinking. And that's the reason why these tech billionaires, they don't even allow their kids to have like phones, or they're not on social media because they know.
Cover their cameras when they come home.
Yeah, yeah. But back to what what we're saying about this thing with the AI, Google using YouTube to train its AI. Um, yeah, it's using everybody's information or videos that they put on YouTube. So it's already it like if y'all go check out that VEO3, that stuff is crazy. But it's going to be easier. Not I ain't gonna say easier. Um, you can get out of certain situations. There could be okay. Yeah, they're going to release all these freak off videos. Well, somebody went on. Shout out to Torre, weirdo. He went on and said something about you not knowing what you were talking about because you said something about the freak offs or this that or whatever. But in the video, um, in the court record, I mean, the courts are now saying, no, the freak offs only consisted of Diddy, Cassie, and maybe a few prostitute pros or whatever, right? Um, but now the Fat Joe stuff, the Tyler Perry stuff coming out now. I mean, come on, y'all. But you know, I don't know if they can run with the uh, excuse of it was AI because in a few years you could easily be like, oh, no, that was AI because someone could create something similar to you, an image of or video of you similar to you doing something crazy, and yeah,
But
that's why I
it's
say the internet's gonna be looking like a
comes back
cartoon.
to metadata.
Well, yeah, and even with the Demore case, which we're gonna get into that too, where there was video that was AI'd and pictures that were AI'd that was used against her, and to try to uh, defame or discredit her and her now husband's relationship, and made it seem as if he was an abuser and this and that or whatever. But fortunately, she kept pictures, and she was able to show like this. They just used this to say, to make this story seem like it's something, but it's not. Go ahead. I'm here.
No, don't mind me. I'm just stretching out my feet, sister. But
What are you listening to?
you know, um, just the old track from a dope producer. Um, but yeah, it's and salute to Monica Shenwan, but one of Dallas finest. But serious, like I looked at how many pictures and images have been AI. People trying to make me look like I'm 10 times bigger than what I actually am. Um, People, do weird things to my face, changing my appearance, trying to make me look more grotesque. And when you see
Hmm.
things, it's like as a person, you want to no, that's not juice. But I can play the instrumental for juice in a second. But no, seriously, it's disturbing because if no one ever meets you and that's the one thing that they see, that's all they know to be true. So that's part of the reason why I definitely jumped into the whole I gotta get into this Demore Hadley video that was being passed around and people were just accepting it. Even the people that were kind of denouncing it and speaking against it, they were still giving it credibility. Oh, oh, well, maybe this is why she did it because look at him, he's a bad guy. But she didn't have any right to do that. But you look at him, he's a bad guy. And we can't let him get away with that. That was some of the first commentary that I heard regarding that video. I don't know Javon Hadley. I had never met him. I had never heard of him. And the truth is, I still shouldn't know him now. But yet, this video is being forced into my face with his name on it. This is who he is. He's a bad guy. By the way, we need another 150 likes. But
Yeah.
he's a bad guy. He's a this, he's a that. And we're just going to take it at face value. And from the second I saw it, I knew it was off. And the first thing that I did was grab that clip and went to
Yep.
work.
Hmm.
Because we should not be so easily fooled into just believing whatever someone puts in front of our face for just a hot second. And the truth is, for me to not be like a techie and for me to be able to do that comprehensive a breakdown and pull out all of the things that I pulled out, that's troubling to me. Am I intelligent? Yes. Am I well studied? Yes. Am I very smart? Yes. Am I all of those things? That has absolutely nothing to do with anything. That has absolutely nothing to do with anything. Because I literally had to watch that 90, like that barely a minute segment. It was probably more like 35 to 40-second segment. And I looped it. I looped it to make up to 3 minutes so that you would be forced to see the repetition and not be able to get past what was right there in our face. It's like, where's Waldo? Spotting which one of these things is different, in the newspaper when we were kids. Like, those are some of my favorite,
Yeah.
when I was growing up. But yeah, straight track. Like, it's wild because so many people just watched it and took it for granted. Starting at the beginning of the clip, when she was over by the side door, and then she was in the middle of the room. It's milliseconds. That's not. That's not. That shit ain't real. Like, honestly. And I'm like, okay, now I'm in. But how many people just looked at that clip? Well, I can tell you how many content creators that I saw, including Poetic Flocka, who just accepted all of that at face value, which is why I took it and I walked it out and I walked it through. Also, more interesting, the fact that there was no audio.
Yeah. Imagine if the VEO3 AI was involved, and she would have been able to manipulate the audio to make it say what she wanted to say. And if they said that the pants or the color change, Nick,
Yeah.
not
Oh,
in short
yeah.
production.
Yeah. Yeah. She did a whole wardrobe change in the middle of getting
Instantly.
beat up.
Instantly.
Allegedly.
Yeah. Yeah, man. It's
Like
it's
even
it's
with the
it's
door movie, when I was like, what was it? He couldn't decide whether he wanted to come out and hurt her or not. And turns out he was the one trying to figure out if it was safe to come outside.
hmm hmm
But look at how they were able to create that suggestion when things
Yep.
were the exact opposite.
That's the scary part because people, like I said, back to what I said in the beginning, people don't look at the whole thing. They'll just look at what's presented,
And
the
it's
headline.
and the funny thing is, it wasn't for me putting her on a loop and walking it through and talking it through. Most people would have just seen it that one time, and that would have been it, and it accepted it as that. And
Right.
that's how easy
Right.
it is to put someone in handcuffs
Yeah, that's
for this
scary.
glamour, because that's like how the vampires. They say the vampires do. They glamour you and let you receive a false image or a false illusion as real, as a real moment in time. We gotta have better discernment with everything that we're saying and doing. And it's just, you got to question everything. I mean, but that's what they don't want you to do. That's why people got real quiet. And even right now in this moment, I challenge Storm Monroe to produce the original metadata from that interview. I dare
He
him
took
to
it completely away. He took it away. Right. He took it all down.
produce it. I dare him to produce it. But see, if he produces it, there's a trickle effect. See, because after he got busted for it and realized that he was putting himself in line to lose his channel completely for that total impersonation farce. Because the truth is, I get my hands on that metadata and we examine it and prove that it was altered. They're supposed to take his channel.
Yep.
But
You're not allowed.
yeah, go
Go
ahead.
ahead. No, I was gonna say, yeah, YouTube, you're not allowed to do anything like that. And put it up as, real, or you're supposed to at least let it be known that
This
this
is
was
altered.
AI altered. Yeah. And YouTube, they allow creators to opt out of the third party training for selected AI, but users are not able to stop Google from training its AI models with your video. But just to say all that is to say, what was done last summer, um, yeah, there definitely should just be takedown, complete takedown of the video because I mean, well, he took it down anyway. But
Yeah, but that's not the problem. It's not the fact that he took it.
ethically, I'm saying morally and ethically, it was like it was too late. It was already out
It
there
went from him to
to
Andre
Google.
Jr.'s channel. Don't forget it went to his channel. And
Hmm.
on his channel, that it alley-ooped to media takeout.
Yep.
And then next thing you know, it went to Google. And then TMZ covered it as real.
Yeah.
So I want y'all to look at that lineup. It started on Storm Monroe's channel. He took it down from there after real scrutiny came to looking at him and trying to figure out what that whole thing was about when he brought in a bunch of irrelevant black people to content creators, red flag creators, to try to convince everyone that it was real, and then took it down. Then it went to Andre Turner's channel, which is considerably smaller than Storm Monroe's channel, but it had just enough teeth at about 50,000 subscribers at that time for it to be a layup for someone else. So they started the lie about me here. And then once they realized it was being questioned, they doubled it down to a smaller platform that had just enough traction to be able to make it back into the mainstream or closer to the mainstream media, goes to media takeout. And even though everyone knows that they are not credible, media takeout prints it on Google and then TMZ picks it up from there.
Yeah.
And now it goes from less than 500,000 subscribers to 20 million.
And what do they say on the wire? The bigger the lie, the more they believe. And you see how, but it started with what started with a bigger platform. Of course, he knew he was going to get dinged for it. He got rid of it, but that smaller platform took it. Probably was instructed to do exactly just that.
Oh no, he was definitely instructed to do so because him and Storm Monroe did a live together talking about it on someone else's channel before he brought it there. Oh, and by the way, it was that weirdo that's the lackey of the 2 week.
Oh,
That's where they re-engaged it. This is
wow.
a really nefarious line here. And we could use 200 more likes. Thank you for the ones we have.
Yeah. Y'all hit the like button, please.
Like let's get in here. Let's get to 500 as quick as we can because we need people hearing this conversation. And yet, all of that action around this AI clip, and nobody is asked to see the original metadata. Nobody.
Well, nobody will even think to ask for it. You have to be an investigator to really say, oh yeah, what you see is not always what you get. And yeah, let's look at the data. As I said, that's why I started off with what I said. I said, everything with this internet is all binary code, ones and zeros, data.
It's crazy. It's crazy what people can get away with. And not because of how intelligent they are, but because the lack of intelligence that the public has to how things are actually moving in real time. They rely on public ignorance to get away with public fraud. They rely on it.
Yep. What a world we live in. Sad measure of endeavor indeed.
And now here we are with the Moray and John and Javon's story, and we're watching the exact same thing happen a year later. And this evidence was used to put people in handcuffs.
Yeah.
This evidence was used to try to have people labeled and monitored with things that are so far from their character. This AI evidence was able to get someone with a few lies, corroborating lies, was able to get someone in a mental facility and have their freedom taken away from them.
Yep. Yep.
Forced to take medication. And I'm not going to do too much spoiler alerting around here. I'm not, because episode 3 is coming, and I promise you, as Demore walks us through, because episode 3, we're going to be walking through her hospitalization and some of the things that she experienced, some of the things that happened, some of the things she was forced to see. And I can tell you right now, for someone that has happened to in real life, because it's happened to me, I'm telling you right there, the things you see in that place, you can't unsee them things. Everybody
Yeah.
at the story, but they don't realize who Crazy Alice from South Dallas is and where that story comes from.
Right. She had, um, and she said in the interview, potential run in with someone not as benign as Crazy Alice from South Dallas. That person,
Oh no, that person.
farted on you, but
Yeah,
this person could have done some harm to her. Like,
exactly. Yes, Nick. Shots fired. Yeah, that happened to me. That happened to me in a mental hospital. Like, can you imagine being the same person?
no,
And this
but
was
that's the
right before I was about to be released. That's how I know it was a setup. Because they were trying to find a way to make me beat the crap out of that old woman so that they
they
could
they
get me.
they always do stuff like that. I was talking
You
about
have
that, how
no idea the dexterity, the discipline for that fart to crawl around your neck like a hand and grab your nose. Have you ever had a fart crawl around your neck?
I'm gonna tell you one thing.
Grab your
I'm big.
nose.
I am big on smell, scent. So I don't. Number one, I don't know why all these people would get online and say something about you and your smell, because Jag is one of the most pleasantly smelling women I've been around, right? Um, but if I go like, if I, and this is, I guess it's just animal nature. If like I can't stand the smell of another man, like it'll makes me like it'll make me get mad, right?
Yeah.
No, or it's just don't tell me. But I guess that's just animal instinct. Like, oh wait, what, um,
Yeah.
man, somebody did that. If you fought,
Don't piss on
man,
my hydrant,
man,
G.
I'm going, man, I'm cool. Like, don't. I, some people they get a kick out of those smells. I guess I remember a buddy of mine was telling me, he was in an elevator and somebody obviously passed gas, and there was this weird old white gay dude, and he was just like, no. Like he was like it was goddamn Jimmy Choo, like he was smelling
No,
molecule or
Pierre
something. Oh
Cardin.
my god, I love it. Yeah, I'm beating your ass. You ain't gotta edit this. I'm beating your ass if you do something like that around me. There's
I'm
too much
just
over around my food.
listen. It's real. It's real. We keeping it real.
Yeah, that see,
Like the
but
YN. We keeping it real, like the YN. But seriously
yeah,
though, like that happened to me because someone lied, used AI evidence, false witness testimony based on a bunch of liars from YouTube. And I was forced to have the pleasure of meeting Crazy Alice from South Dallas, who not only showed me that when you're reading the Bible and trying to be close to God through a challenging time, the devil will creep up at any time.
that fart was the devil, huh?
She was the devil before. That was a shot. That was the invisible shot in the heart. That was an uppercut to my
Yeah, I would.
pride.
They would have had me. I would have had a new charge.
Exactly.
So that's what they wanted.
No, but that's exactly what they wanted me to do. And it's wild because you remember how Demore kept saying to us, I'm not gonna give her that. I'm not gonna give her that. That's exactly what I was telling myself while I was there, experiencing that. You
Yeah.
know, me just accepting shots fired and then her crazy ass running off and me just staying there. Like,
Now, did they? Someone told her to do like what? What would make? I mean, obviously she's not there.
well,
But I'm saying like what?
this is a woman that would take her diapers off and she would smear them all over the seats and the tables and would sit there and wait to see who would sit in there without looking so that she could laugh and say, I'm all over you. Like, she was wild. This woman was out of her mind. Like Alice, aka MC Cupcake. Like that's what she called it. Like this. This is the kind of stuff that you do, my God. This is the kind of stuff that you experience in these kind of environments, you know. I also happen to be in there with a young man who got high on methamphetamines and thought that his grandmother was the leprechaun from the movie. Got
Mm,
because he couldn't find a pack of cigarettes and decided the best way to take care of all of his problems was to set the drapes on fire and then to go to the store and buy another pack. And that's exactly what he did with his grandmother asleep in that
ah,
house. And when he got back from the store, his grandmother died in that house in the fire that he set.
mm.
Hey, I was
Wow.
also in there with that guy. And I prayed with him every day. And I pray for him to find the courage to really ask for absolution and to accept whatever he had coming to him because what he had done, regardless of what he was on, was unbelievable. I'll never forget when I first found out what happened and what got him there in the psych ward, the 17th floor apartment. And I heard him tell me the story, and I said, "Oh my God, that's terrible." I was like, I can only imagine, like, how are you making it through this? The grief, grieving for your grandmother. Like, I don't know. I don't even know what to say, bro. And he was like, well, she was a twin and her twin is still alive. So I'm really not missing anything, am I?
Wow.
He literally said that.
Wow.
And
You
when he
know,
realized that I wasn't going to laugh, he was like, I know that's a bad joke. And I looked at him and I said, sir, that's not a joke at all. And I'd never say it again if I want to get out of here. I was like, because you saying stuff like that, that's the kind of stuff that's going to keep you here. And I'll never forget the day that they came to pick him up, sent him to Lucerne to face charges for the arson and the unalivement of his like 70, 80-year-old grandma who let him in the house because I guess he didn't have nowhere to go at the time. You know, you're forced to be in these places. You're forced to be around these type of people. Now, like I said, I'm not doing no spoiler alerts. Episode 3 is coming, and you can hear Demore's story from herself. I'm just sitting here sharing with you guys my own experiences because, like I said, I too have been through this, and it was AI evidence and false statements and testimony, no different than with Demore, that got me there. So we don't ever want to take for granted the um the strength and the courage that it was to get through those moments. Because I'm telling you, all I could think to myself when I heard shots fired was sit your ass right here. You're going home tomorrow. You're going to
that
see
was,
your mom, your son, your family tomorrow. You're going to have a lovely meal with your family tomorrow. They're going to be here eating jello, dodging shots fired. Like you have to have that kind of clarity. Because in normal circumstances, that was an ass whooping, hands down, no
oh
question.
yeah, all
No
day.
question. And the truth is, if my out day wasn't the next day and it was more like a month away, I would have just worked it all out in therapy.
I ain't
Real,
mad at you because
real,
anybody put their little nasty, stinking
listen to me. That
pheromones,
like a hand from hell.
man.
It's not, oh my God.
What this makes me want to do is
Do a
well, I don't know.
visualize.
It's up. You say what?
You want to do one of your visualizing videos?
No, hell, no. I'm
Break
good.
down
I'm good.
about shots fired.
No, I'm good. I still, well, we got to talk about the other visualizer that I'm gonna work on. But it made me want, it made me want to do a watch party on Patreon. Even if well, yeah, I mean, we could do a movie night. Yeah, how many of the Patreons we got in the house? We could do a
If we
watch
get
party.
40 people, we'll do a movie night.
Well, I don't want to say a movie, or maybe I should say because it's in the same thing.
I know.
Yeah, but anyway, yeah. If y'all want to do it, then yeah, maybe we'll do it. I know Patricia Blair. Shout out to her, and Nick is a
Thanks, y'all.
patron, and Margie as well. So we appreciate that. But yeah, I think, but I think, see, the thing is this, and watching a movie with you, I mean, that's a whole that's content in itself, man. Like watching a movie with Jag is just crazy, right? But then yeah, like like y'all really get to see and get to hear, and we pause it, and she'll probably tie in some stuff that was in relation to her. But it just reminded me of yeah, yeah, yeah.
Wait a minute. Do you remember that movie that I showed you? I don't even know
Hmm.
if we ever finished it all the way together.
No, we didn't. You talking about nuts?
Yeah, Nuts with Barbara Streisand.
Yeah, yeah. And as I'm saying, this movie is in the same vein. That's why I was like, yeah,
Yeah.
maybe that shit we could do that, but we could do that one too.
That's what you're accused of, Fluffy. Guess what? If you can figure out the whole movie while you're watching it on the first time, then they need to be mad at the person that made the movie, not you for figuring it out. But no, seriously though, it's like yeah, no, Nuts. It's a very interesting story about a woman who was an sex worker. He found himself in a terrible situation. It was really bad. Like it was really bad. And she was forced to defend her life. Um, and she did. And she survived. He did not. She was forced to have to go to court. And the entire time, her family did not want her to fight for her freedom, did not want her to fight for her life. No, instead, they wanted her to go to a state mental hospital and to be stuck there forever and to play sick and to do this because they liked it better than the idea of her being, you know, a pro. Um, who unalived the John and possibly getting away with that and that being on the family name. And it was just, yeah, I mean, it's called Nuts. um, but they were lying about her to get her in the hospital, saying that there were things wrong with her, saying that her family came forward, gave not accurate testimony. Come to find out, she had been abused by the very stepfather that raised her while the mother sat there and let it all happen, money exchanging. Like there's always some nefarious plot behind people trying to gaslight other people into accepting
Hmm.
a mental charge that's not true, that's not there. So yeah, I mean, I really do think that we should all but just yeah, let's take it down memory lane. Let's take it down memory lane and then let's bring it to real life because these things, and by the way, that movie Nuts was based off of a true story.
Yeah. Well, look, y'all. I mean, I would say get on the Patreon 'cause I think I want to do more of those and just outside of the conversations that we have on the Jaguar Wright Effect, just be a part of the Patreon because we'll pop in and kind of do stuff like that. You know, kind of just, but it's not outside of the conversation. It's outside the conversation, but it's still relatable.
Well, I don't think it's outside of the conversation. I think it's just a broader scope of the conversation. And that's why I'm so grateful that we decided to turn this series into a series rather than just a long form interview or being forced to cut away hours of relevant commentary
Yeah,
and
yeah,
testimony just to fit a timeline.
yeah.
And
No,
it's
because everything she was saying was on point, and it needed to be her. It needs to be her. So we're halfway through, but we got more. No, I'll give you something for tonight or tomorrow because We gotta start really breaking down these characters who were involved, but that's a whole other conversation. That's
Oh,
gonna be separate.
we need to go through the lineup of how she got lined up. And there is a line up. When it comes
Man,
to plots, people don't think about all of the cooperating bad actors that work to make all of these things happen as close to seamless as possible. This isn't just her mom did this. Her mom did that. Her mom did this. No, her mom hired people to do this. Her mom took, company resources and used it to do that. Her mom
yeah,
employed people from the company to give false testimony. Her
yeah.
mom, but the thing is with all of these things, like even when it came down to her detainment, the way she was detained, her business
That's that.
failed.
That's what's next. Like that whole break, man.
Like her business was called. An appointment was made
It was a
for
setup from the
business,
man.
for business, for
And if
landscape.
you guys see on the end of episode 2, the person who
Yeah,
like set it up. Like if we're gonna get deeper into that, it's man.
there are so many like contributing bad actors in this thing. And then just to hear them on the body cam. Oh yeah, she's I got this person, she's crazy. We just need her, we're gonna take her, get her off the road. Like they sit there and say it like they're ordering a Reuben
Yeah,
or a cheesesteak hoagie with extra hot peppers. Like, I mean, it's also matter of fact. My mother paid you. Well, yeah, well, doctors get paid. Like, what does that mean? What do you mean?
it is.
Like,
It is sad. I'm just saying it's sad, but it's sad for that lady Desiree to go to those measures to even get that done. And God's timing, God's divine hand,
the question is,
being involved with
regardless
her
of
not having.
how do
Imagine if her husband was there.
how do you have the ability to get this many people to go along with it for anything other than money?
Let me
What's
see.
the
It was
money?
one.
Oh my! Can you imagine? Can you imagine if Javon had come? If
That's
his
what I was saying.
had to let him
Yeah,
go, what would they? Because the plan was throw her in the hospital and throw her in jail. So what were they gonna frame him with if he had went that day?
they would have tried something with him. Let's not spoil it though, because I want people definitely just if you look at part 2 and you see towards the end, well, how we gonna pick it up, man? Yeah,
Like, bro, the things that these people are comfortable with doing are beyond. It's beyond. And they do it just one hand washes the other like it's no big deal.
they have their. I mean,
They're literally monetizing someone else's trauma. And whether they got him that day or not, they got her. So they still got him because he knew why they had taken her. Like it's like I said, it's the cruelest way to get at somebody to use their heart against them.
yeah,
And to show people exactly, all I gotta do is attack that one thing and I can make you crumble. I can make you fold. When you look at all of the parents that use the family court system to to harm the other parent because they want this or because they want that, or it's we become a narcissistic society, and we really don't take credit for exactly just how far off the rails we've really gone. um and people can say whatever they want to say, and you can blame politics, or you can blame this, or you can blame that. We need to stop looking for someone to blame, and we need to just start figuring, how do we stop this from just allowing it to keep on happening over and over and over again. Like there's absolutely no reason in the world why I should be able to relate to this story so personally because it happened to me. For me to be able to talk to you about a movie where back in the 80s, this story in the 70s, this story happened.
70.
Like, yeah,
Yeah.
because the story happened in the 70s because Babs filmed it in the 80s. So it's like, apparently, for many years, people have been able to manipulate our system to do whatever it is that they want to do for whatever control or to cover up or look at Wendy Williams. Come on. She already passed the
Yeah.
competency evaluation this year. There's no way she should still be in it. But she's there during this trial when she probably has so much testimony. That trial could have been probably done in one day with Wendy.
Mm-hmm.
But she's sitting in there. She's sitting in there with a gag order, not even allowed to speak to the press anymore. So it's we just got to keep using our thinking caps
Yeah.
and stop
Yeah.
allowing AI to be our thinking cap. It's one
Yeah.
thing to use a resource. It's one thing to have it aid you, help you. But when it gets to the point where we're relying on technology more than we're relying on what God gave us, it's a problem. It's a
Use it. Don't let it use you. Just like social media.
look.
Use it. Don't let it use you. Just like a damn calculator. You use it. Don't let it just, oh, I don't know two plus two.
Don't forget, Prince said that it's cool to use the computer, but don't let the computer use you. It's
Yeah.
cool to get on the computer, but don't let the computer get on you. There's a war going on. The battlefield is the mind, and the price is the soul. That was Prince Rogers Nelson that said that. A lot of people forget about the wisdom that he tried to share with all of us and all of the things that he had to say to us. And it's wild. It's wild. And the thing is this. We need to stop worrying about the press too, because I don't think the press is the press either. I think they're all just a bunch of paid bad actors, in my opinion, that are there to keep trying to confuse humanity into believing that things aren't the way they really are. Like you, it's gonna take a lot for you to get me to acknowledge you as a journalist. You're going to have to show me signs of journalism. You're going to have to show me something that looks like journalism. And if I'm listening to people that are supposed to be credible media and they're being sourced from stuff that they got off YouTube and Google, and they're running with those stories, you lose your credibility with me. I ain't going to believe nothing else you do. Period. Because what you're willing to show me is that your idea of going to work it is looking over the guy who sat in front of you in class and writing his answers down on your test because you didn't bother to go study yourself. Because that's what journalism right now, that's what media, especially black media, is starting to look like. Ooh, let me see what he wrote down.
Mm-hmm.
Breaking
Mm-hmm.
news.
Mm-hmm.
I got an 8-part video because you got to keep going back to his video to keep trying.
For real.
Seriously, that's what it's looking like to me. And I ain't going for it. And yeah, yeah, I am. You should know better than to be crossing my mind, yeah. There's wild stuff going on in here. It's a minefield. But I mean, you're going to be doing a further deeper dive into this conversation. So, everybody keep your notification bells on. Oh, and by the way, there's a lot of people. I can't believe we still haven't made it to 500 likes yet, but that's all right. Go off. Replay game, come through. And don't forget to hit the like on your way in or way out. Please share this video. But make sure that if you're not getting your notifications, just turn your notification bell off or unsubscribe and resubscribe. It
Mm-hmm.
membership, it won't affect your membership. Your membership is locked in. But just unsubscribe and resubscribe because the truth is I think they literally got like a whole master reset button. It was like, no Jag getting too much love. Bye.
Yeah. Yep. No, they do.
For
Like I
real.
said, YouTube
Yeah, you
picks
got a
and
Jag button.
chooses its winners and losers.
Yeah, and this is the thing. If we're gonna pay attention to how hard they cheat, then we gotta learn how to be more efficient in how we play. We gotta make them step up their game. If they won't have the ability to cheat us, then we need to make sure that they're losing hair or sleep in order to do so. You,
Yeah.
mm-mm. So all right, yeah. Please catch up. Defending Your Freedom, the Demore Hadley story, part one, part two, part three is coming. Um, and y'all want to just take this ride with us once again, salute to BJ and any other content creator that's brave enough. Please let us know when you're going to be doing something so we can support, so we can share, because we want to make sure that all of the numbers get ran up on this story because there needs to be some kind of real stance for real content and real information, especially information as important as this, because this can help save someone's life.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It can. So you're gonna be going a little deeper on this weekend at some point, or today, or when?
Well, I got so much that I need to do. I'm gonna get into the real reason why I think these ice raids are going on in LA. And I'm gonna pull away from doing a whole lot of politics. But it is in relation to what's going on in LA. And people come to LA for the three W's: the women, the weed, the weather, right? And you need something to make that happen. The weather's gonna do what it's gonna do. The weed is it needs to be cultivated. I think a lot of the situation going on with these illegal immigrations things is has something to tie with the cartels and that, but that's a whole nother conversation.
Mm.
I'm gonna
Well,
go there.
that's the funny thing. I hear a lot of people talking about a lot of things, but I don't hear a lot of people addressing the fact that to have this conversation with illegal immigrants and this much government involvement and the word cartel doesn't come up at all, that's weird to me. That's suspect to me.
And
Especially
and it's funny.
what just happened in Dallas with those over 200 children that just got rescued. And
Yeah,
it's crazy for us to see how long that's taken for people to actually start speaking about it because we literally heard about it first when we were talking to our friend Mary Flynn from America's Future because she was actually there when the
yeah,
children were rescued. They were there. America's Future stayed on it. And for anyone that says that we're not worried about the children or the children being rescued, that is not true. The people that we associated with are very much so involved. But we don't share information until it's time for us to share information. What's sad is that we knew, and for 3 weeks, nobody else seemed to. And
yeah,
honestly, we lost sight of it because we were so busy dealing with Demore and Javon's story that came into our lives. And, that took a lot of time. And we're sitting there like, yo, wait a minute. Yeah, that happened before. So we're talking nearly a month and nobody's talking about any of that. But they're talking about all of this stuff that's going on. So let's not, we be on it, but Odell's going to be taking a deeper dive into a lot of that. So y'all make sure you got your notification bells on over there. It's set in the West. For all relevant, content regarding the culture and regarding just, you know, what it do in the West. And y'all already know we're the community channel here, and We're going to be gearing up to get, refocusing and getting down to the brass tacks. Episode 3. Please make sure y'all like, make sure you comment, make sure you share, make sure you're subscribed. And if you want to participate over here, please become a member because this is a member driven platform. Um, and we keep everything hella respectful. We try to make the ecosystem great. We do have a few trolls inside of our membership, but they already know what it's hitting for. So ain't no point to talk about it. Um, but yeah, guys, that's
And I'm
where
trying to set up something on the Patreon side note. The Patreon, if y'all see, y'all already see where I'm going with the watch party situation. But I want to do something to where it's like, everybody could participate in that. The other stuff is for the other members, but you know, yeah, I think the watch party stuff. Well, we got to be careful with that too. But that's a whole nother conversation. I
yeah,
think
we'll figure it out.
everybody will enjoy looking at a dang on film with Jag being that loud black woman in the back. Like, don't go on that mother, don't do. Yeah, like man. I'm telling you, that shit is funny. I'd have loved to have seen Precious with you because I saw Precious in the theaters, and it was some old black women in the back. Like, oh, I was dying. Yeah, I enjoyed the movie just because of them and their commentary. Like, oh,
Guys,
that's messed up. Why you do that? Why'd you do that baby like that? You didn't have to go. She didn't have to steal that chicken. But anyway, yeah, we gonna be doing stuff like that on the Patreon, yo. That's where we're headed. I think that's
yeah,
that's that's gonna be right.
yeah, and I'm down to 10% on this device. So
Oh yeah, get it on.
let's get ready to move it around and move it out. But long and short, um, I guess last words next time. Last words. Um, don't believe the hype, G. Don't be so quick to believe everything that you see before actually, giving yourself a chance. Lies, they might run faster than the truth, but they can't outlast or outstand the truth. Sometimes it takes a little bit of time in the reality to bring true clarity to the world. But let's not sit there and, pretend like we got it all sewed up because we saw something for a couple of minutes. This direction is a magician's like greatest skill. You know, a lot of times pulling off that great magic trick isn't about what you could do yourself. It's about where you can get or how you can get people to look away so that they don't see how you fooling them. And you know, once again, Shabbat Shalom. And for those of us here in the United States, the Sabbath is just starting to making our way in. The solstice is also coming in. So for those of you who observe all laws of this world that God created for us, y'all know this is a very important and special time as well. Let's focus on not leaning into our own understanding, but listening and heeding, the God, the God that's of all, the God that sources all of us. Let's really stay focused on the true message. And when you look at how technology is dividing so many people, you gotta know that God's not in that. Because God is not a God of division. He's a God of togetherness. Anything that's tearing us apart can't be of God because God only wants us to draw closer to each other. So, I just want to keep
Yep.
that on your minds. And that's my final. What about you? That last one?
No, I
Daddy
got
of
no final thought. I say just don't be on the pipe and don't believe the hype.
And on that note,
Stay hydrated.
yeah, please, because there's a lot of thirsty people around
A
here.
bunch of thirsty
And
people.
on
Thirsty.
that, um, justice for the hackers. This story is extremely, extremely important. And it needs to get out there. There's a whole list of people that have been affected by this way or the other. Not just Javon, not just Amore. Javon has a mother. He has siblings. He has nieces and nephews, who were present for one of those arrests, um, who were forced to have to suffer. Like, this is going to be a healing journey for the entire family. A lot of times people forget that, there are others that are affected by the things that happen to us. That's why it's so dangerous to just see this as a anything, because it isn't. This is real people's lives. Can the truth be entertaining? Yes, it can, but it needs to be educating just as much as it is anything else. And on that note, Shabbat Shalom, and we'll see you next time, I guess, whenever that may be. But definitely justice for the Hadleys. I love it when you pull stuff out like that. That was a great moment. That was a great moment. We're gonna have to get to the bottom of some of that too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. 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 I'm
All
on it. Let me get on it. That's why I say I got a lot, but
right.
I'll touch up on the AI stuff. But yeah, you know.
As only you could, because the truth is nobody really explains it like you do. It's funny. I now work in media. Media has become a very big part of my life, but uh, I just want to just credit you for making me double down on my understanding and on my knowing, and really, really getting me to see that using my voice and using this platform to educate people, it is hella important. And I wouldn't have been able to do a lot of what I do if it wasn't for your education and your tutelage. And I thank you for that. I do. No,
Gratitude
no,
and anything.
no, I mean, people really don't take into consideration exactly how much hard work goes into doing what we do and how we do it. And I would really like for people to just start um having a better understanding of, the sacrifice and the knowledge, and sharing it, and the importance of all of that. So this is not for the faint of heart. This is not simple work. It's not busy work. It is committed and dedicated work. And I want to thank you for really putting me up on my game, and helping me take my voice to a whole nother level. So thank you.
Indeed. Welcome. All right. All right.
All right, we out of here, y'all. Bitch.